Well, yes, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefon Diggs.
Congratulations.
Cardi B has been in the spotlight long enough for the world to think they know her. But this time, the firestorm wasn't about music, feuds, or fashion. It was about her children, her body, and her future. And what set it all off wasn't a paparazzi headline or a leaked text message. It came from a voice on a podcast, one that went further than most dare to go. Cardi had just shared joyful news with her fans. Pregnancy with her fourth child, a new chapter alongside her boyfriend, NFL star Stefon Diggs. But instead of celebration, her announcement collided with a brutal wave of criticism, led by a podcast host named Cresselle from the Read. Cresselle didn't hold back, calling the timing of Cardi's pregnancy a disaster, and going so far as to suggest that she might risk her own life chasing surgery just to prepare for her tour. The words were sharp, unrelenting, and for many, crossed the line between commentary and cruelty. Imagine announcing the most personal, life-changing news only to be told, in front of millions, that you're careless, selfish, and unfit. For Cardi, this wasn't just about defending her artistry. This was about defending her children, her choices, and her survival. And when she fired back, it wasn't the usual explosive clapback fans might expect. This time, her response revealed something deeper. A woman trying to hold her ground against the world while still carrying the weight of a baby inside her. But here's the twist that most people missed. The backlash didn't just stop with the podcast rant. Behind the scenes, industry insiders began whispering about canceled appearances, questions from sponsors, and whether Cardi's tour, her first in years, could withstand the shadow of this controversy. And the real shock came not from what was said in public, but from what Cardi revealed about the private struggles that drove her to leave Offset and build a new life. Before we dive deeper, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. We uncover the truths and untold stories that Hollywood doesn't want you to hear. Celebrity interviews, hidden feuds, and breakdowns that never make the front page. If you don't want to miss the next twist in Cardi's story, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what came next caught even her team off guard. The clip began circulating across social media within hours. Cresselle's voice thundered through headphones and car speakers, her words like knives, accusing Cardi of choosing the worst possible moment to get pregnant, mocking her past performances, even suggesting she would deliver nothing but lifeless movements on stage while others carried the show around her. She questioned Cardi's decision-making, her body, her relationships, and even hurled the chilling suggestion that a mommy makeover surgery could end in tragedy. It wasn't just criticism. It was an attack on her very identity as a mother and performer. Fans replayed the rant over and over, stunned at how personal it became. Cardi's name has been in countless headlines before, but rarely has the criticism been so invasive, so heavy with judgment, and so cruelly timed. What was supposed to be a celebratory season, her album, Am I the Drama, on the horizon, a new baby on the way, was suddenly painted as recklessness, as if her motherhood and career could not coexist. And then came Cardi's response. For those who expected her to lash out in profanity-filled rage, what they got was far more surprising. She spoke with controlled fire, defending not just herself, but her children. Her voice didn't shake, but you could feel the emotion pressing against every word. She reminded the world that she has never regretted a single one of her children, that she falls in love with them from the very first kick. She drew a line in the sand, criticize my music, my choices, even my relationships if you want, but don't ever come for my kids and don't question my motherhood. What struck her fans most was not just what she said, but how she said it. Calm, measured, yet filled with a sharp conviction that silenced many of her critics. For once, Cardi didn't let the noise drag her into chaos. She shifted the spotlight, forcing the world to confront the double standard. Why do women, especially mothers in entertainment, carry the weight of constant scrutiny while fathers escape the same judgment? Why does her decision to bring life into the world spark outrage, while men with multiple children and fractured families go unchallenged? But beneath that defiance, Cardi revealed something no one expected. The painful truth of why she left Offset. It wasn't just about infidelity, it was about survival. She spoke of the toll it took on her health. The moments where stress pushed her to the hospital. The quiet intervention of her label and management when they realized her personal crisis was beginning to consume her career. Walking away wasn't just about leaving a marriage. It was about saving herself. And that revelation opened a new wave of curiosity. If Cardi was finally ready to expose just how dark things had gone behind the scenes, what else has been hidden from the public? What cracks have been covered by the glitz, the costumes, and the music videos? Because as powerful as her words were, whispers began to grow louder in industry circles. There were questions about whether sponsors would stay on board, whether her tour dates were truly secure, and whether the pregnancy would become ammunition for those who already doubted her as a performer. And while Cardi stood tall in public, behind the cameras, the pressure was mounting. And that's when an even more unsettling detail leaked out, something that threatened to shift the entire conversation away from motherhood and toward a far more dangerous narrative. It started with a single rumor, whispered from a tour crew member who claimed preparations were already tense, even before the pregnancy news broke. They described endless meetings, rescheduled rehearsals, and hushed conversations about whether Cardi could realistically carry the physical load of a full-scale arena tour just months after giving birth. And once Cresselle's rant went viral, that whisper turned into a wave. Suddenly, headlines weren't just about her baby. They were about whether she would cancel her tour altogether. For an artist like Cardi, the stakes couldn't be higher. This wasn't just another string of performances. This tour was supposed to mark her triumphant return, her first major push after years of anticipation. Fans had been waiting, critics had been watching, and investors had poured millions into staging, production, and promotion. Every spotlight, every dollar, every seat sold depended on her being at her best. And now, the world was questioning whether she could even make it to opening night. Behind the scenes, sponsors began sending cautious emails. Insiders said one major brand quietly paused their promotional campaign until Cardi's camp could guarantee she'd still headline as planned. For the first time in years, the narrative shifted from her being unstoppable to her being uncertain. And in an industry where perception can make or break a career, that uncertainty was dangerous. But what shocked even Cardi's inner circle was how much of this story the public wasn't supposed to hear. A leaked snippet from a private rehearsal review surfaced online, showing team members debating her stamina, her choreography, and whether backup performers would need to carry more of the load. It painted a picture eerily similar to what Cresselle had accused her of, being overshadowed on her own stage. The irony was brutal. A critic's rant, once dismissed as cruel and unfounded, was suddenly echoing in real conversations among people paid to make Cardi shine. And yet, Cardi refused to buckle. Publicly, she doubled down. She reminded fans that she had bounced back before, performing at Fashion Week in Paris just weeks after childbirth. She insisted her health was strong, her motivation unshakable, her vision clear. She promised the greatest tour of her career. But what no one could see was the exhaustion etched in her days, the weight of trying to prove everyone wrong while carrying the literal weight of a growing child. It was a test not just of her artistry, but of her resilience as a woman in an industry that rarely forgives vulnerability. She wasn't just fighting for her reputation. She was fighting to remind the world that women can create life and create art without having to choose one over the other. But then, as if the storm wasn't already fierce enough, another curveball hit, this time from her personal life. A detail about Stefon Diggs, her boyfriend and the father of her unborn child, began to surface, raising questions about loyalty, stability, and whether Cardi's new chapter was as steady as she hoped. And what leaked next didn't just complicate her image. It threatened to fracture the entire narrative she had been building. The leak wasn't explosive at first, just whispers about Stefon Diggs being spotted out late nights, rumors of flirtations, speculation that he might not be as steady as Cardi had hoped. But in the middle of a storm already threatening her career, even the smallest crack in her personal life became magnified. Fans began dissecting photos, analyzing cryptic tweets, and asking the question Cardi had hoped to leave behind with Offset. Could she trust the man beside her? For Cardi, the timing was merciless. She was fighting to protect her motherhood from public scrutiny, battling for her career on the eve of a defining tour, and now defending her relationship from the same cycle of whispers that once consumed her marriage. The noise was deafening, but her response was telling. She didn't collapse into the chaos. She didn't retreat. Instead, she held firm, insisting her happiness was real, her pregnancy was a blessing, and no outside voices would define the family she was building. But even as she stood strong, there was something haunting in her words. She admitted that the strain of her past relationship once pushed her to a hospital bed. She acknowledged that the world would never fully understand the weight of her choices. And yet, she refused to bend. That defiance, that vulnerability, and that honesty created a moment rare in celebrity culture. A star not hiding behind PR spin, but laying bare the cost of being both an icon and a mother. The drama with Cresselle may fade. The headlines about her pregnancy may shift, but the deeper story lingers. What does it mean for a woman to try to balance motherhood, artistry, and survival in an industry designed to doubt her at every turn? How do you stand tall when even your triumphs are framed as mistakes? For Cardi B, the answer seems simple. She will fight, she will perform, and above all, she will not let anyone question the one title she treasures most, mother. But make no mistake, this story is far from over. The tour looms. The whispers about her personal life continue, and the spotlight isn't dimming anytime soon. And if history has shown us anything, it's that the next chapter in Cardi's journey could shift the entire narrative once again. If you've stayed with us this far, you already know we don't just cover the headlines. We dig into the hidden truths, the moments that vanish from mainstream coverage, and the emotional battles that stars fight behind closed doors. So if you want to stay ahead of the next twist in Cardi's story, and the countless others that Hollywood doesn't want you to see, make sure you're subscribed right now. And when you're done here, explore our other videos where the real stories are waiting, stories you didn't see in the headlines, but will never forget once you hear them. Because this isn't just celebrity news. This is the untold story.
So you're going to give birth to this baby probably near the end of the year, towards the top of the year, and then spend 6 weeks in surgery and tour rehearsal to then do what? Go on stage and do fucking nothing. I went back and watched Cardi B's performances after she came back after having culture. Some of the most boring shit you ever seen in your life. And not because of the performance itself. Oh, it's great colors and costumes and dancers and musicians. There's a bunch of shit going on. You know who not doing nothing? Cardi. Laying down on a fucking round table and letting that shit spin around for half the fucking performance and then getting up and having niggas salsa dance her and twirl her ass around on stage for a little while. She don't do shit. You waited all this goddamn time to release another album just to get pregnant in the middle of this album being done and preparing for the... Why? Why? You don't know how to use your butt? You never heard of condoms? You never heard of the IUD? You never heard of the pill? You decided to get pregnant by the nigga you cheated on your husband with? Why? This is just dumb shit. This is so fucking stupid. You are bringing a whole new person into the world, girl. It's not playtime. It's not that ugly ass Labubu kid you just got. It's not some toy you could just toss around and it don't matter how it feel about nothing. It don't matter about its circumstances. This is a human being.
This is my life, and this is my decision. And one thing about it, I do not regret my kids. None, 4 of them. I don't regret it. And I have a choice, and I would have done it if I wanted to, but I didn't want it to. And y'all see the type of mom that I am. You have an opinion about my personal life, cool, but do not bring my motherhood. I don't play about that title. I take that title very seriously. I don't play about culture. I don't play about wave. I don't play about blossom. And I don't play about baby brim. Baby brim. We call the baby brim. I don't play about them 4s. I love them. Don't bring my kids up to prove no point of yours. Don't tell me, people, now I'm seeing people talking about the trauma that I'm bringing. Trauma to these kids? These 3 kids? These kids? And you know what's so funny about my kids? They are all so close. They are all so close. And they're gonna continue being close. And they're talking about, you will know that if you have your own, but you don't. So since you don't have your own, don't talk about what's going on in nobody else's home. If you so concerned about kids, be an ACS worker. There's a lot of kids that's going through a lot of shit. Believe that. And if you want to talk about, oh, you got 4 kids, how you gonna manage having 4 kids? There's women that only got 1 kid and they cannot even manage. There's bitches that got 1 kid and have to get their kids away because they cannot manage. For whatever reason. If you're so concerned about that, be concerned about that. But I'm having 4 kids because I know I can take care of them. I already take care of my 3. I'm not even spazzing out. It's just like, never in my life have anybody ever spoken about my motherhood. And now because I'm having a baby with another man, all of a sudden it's crazy. All of a sudden, it's crazy. How many baby moms, baby daddies, do y'all mamas have? If your baby mamas have different baby daddies, I bet there's some good ass moms too. The fuck? I really don't like when people downplay moms, bro, because we go through so much shit. Whether you have 1 kid, whether you fucking working in McDonald's, whether you with a man or not, like there's us moms, we go through a lot of fucking shit, and y'all never fucking come to these fuck ass daddies. But let me tell you something. All my kids live in the same house and they are raised by a person, and that's me. I raise my kids. You can't compare me to Nick Cannon. I don't got 12 different baby daddies. I got 3 kids with 1 baby dad. Stop telling me, oh, well, why you separated from a cheater to go to somebody else? Because I was tired of that relationship. It's more than just cheating. That's the thing that y'all don't understand. Y'all don't know half of the shit. Y'all don't know most of the shit. It's more than just cheating. It was a lot. I couldn't take it no more. I had to go to a fucking hospital because I couldn't take it no more. You have managers, when you have a management and you have a label. When your management and your label is getting together because they are concerned, it's time to go. When it's affecting your work, when you can't even record, it's time to go. And I left. I don't know. I just feel like I've been so happy for this pregnancy, and I've been so motivated. I've been pregnant, and I've been motivated, and I've been getting the work because every single day I wake up motivated. I wake up happy. If shit is good, I get a thrill. I'm not gonna let none of y'all take that thrill from me, and I'm not gonna make me feel like I'm gonna regret I'm not gonna regret my kids. I'm okay. I promise my fans I'm gonna give them the greatest tour, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And to y'all moms out there, don't let nobody fucking tell y'all about y'all shit. Word 2. Don't let nobody tell y'all about y'all shit.